Hey guys, it's Apache Wolf once again. So I'm going to continue my rant about the pay to win. So in order to get at money as a lot of money quickly as a criminal, the best way is either to get good, which a lot of players don't because you can essentially pay to win, or you have to pay for a money bag. Now, this money bag essentially doubles the amount of money you get from a robbery, which is essentially a, a I guess you can a, call it a way to double down on gains. The best way to do this is on the jewelry store, since the normal it gives you 2,000 or at least meaning that you get meaning that if it were doubled, then you'd basically be getting something like to 4,000 cash per robbery, which is overpowered amount of money gain. You can also Another thing is that that the original vehicle is terrible, the one you get for free. And, and though though as a cop player, it's a pretty good standard vehicle. As a criminal, it's useless. As you would have to be patient and pay for those faster vehicles with in-game cash, or you could pay for that in-game cash with your own Robux, which come from money you spent hard getting. Unless you're smart like me, and the found groups that do bounty that will give you Robux for completing them. Um, However, why spend the money you Robux you've spent and a lot of hard time or paid for with your good money on a single game when you could do it on a game you really like and can benefit from, or at least one that is fun to spend time on. Um, of course, first let me continue. You know, on top of that, you also can buy engines which give you better speeds which come with a trade-off with as chances of glitching out. Uh, now, I now, of course, a patient player would just save up, but I'm not going to farm money for a game that isn't even fun to do. Now, I would do that in a game like Warframe, but not a game where the main goal is to gain money by exploiting unsuspecting criminals or getting good and robbing banks and stuff constantly. Another problem, another thing is that you can pay to get a mobile grok, which is this thing right here. The main problem with buying one of those is that it costs, of course, Robux. Thanks. Thanks. Which this can give you an edge, which if you invested in engines, this can give you a speed advantage against cops that may be chasing you after breaking out of prison with a bunch of SWAT cars. Speaking of which, let's talk about the SWAT. Now I happen to use or seen anybody use the SWAT weapon in the shield, but I assume the shield is like the one in Jailbreak. It blocks all bullets that touch it. And the best tip takes up a lot of defense, allowing you to resist more shots, effectively making you a walking juggernaut. Uh, and I'm pretty sure the M16 also works the same as in the prison line. Hey, sorry for saying Jailbreak about the shield and armor as well. The squad car, however, is overpowered in my opinion, it is incredibly fast at default, um, and it's really hard to hit the engines and well, I mean not the engines, the wheels because it's armored or they're from the front. Which, since the SWAT is going to be chasing you, it's going to make it that much difficult. Well, on top of that, it's faster than a Tesla. I've had a engine 5 on, which is the fastest engine you can get. A default SWAT car was able to be close to outrunning. I once met a SWAT player who had an engine 5 and was able to catch up to me and stop my vehicle really quickly. Um, 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 Another thing is that at the another problem I have with the game is the spawns. There are spawns on each of the two teams, cops and criminals. Well, the cops have a base, of course, at the jail and a base in the city. The criminals have a base in the city, but it's very undefended and easy to get to. And there's one out in the middle of nowhere, nearby a small little town neighborhood. I mean, in it's not easy for cops to get to, but it's basically in the middle of nowhere. Er, The only good vehicle that is there costs $1 million, and on top of that, players can camp in these spaces, meaning that cops aren't restricted from entering. Um, um, Sorry about that. Players aren't restricted from entering them, no matter what team they're on. Um, so a player can camp in the bases and stop players from effectively using them, which is bad for for some of the veteran players who actually invested time into the game. Game, This is why I really hate Jailbreak. Now, in Jailbreak's defense, it is a well put together and thought out game, but to me, the game's more like a mini market. Oh, and don't tell me about the gliders. They're basically the same thing as a parachute. When using one, I didn't notice any difference to it other than the fact that you can use it from anywhere, where instead of jumping out of a helicopter or anything else, or jumping off the jewelry store. It is that makes me really dislike the game. On top of that, Jailbreak doesn't and have a good exploit defense system. Um, while yes, as weaker exploit defenses aren't really effective against Jailbreak, there are exploit services that are paid that can bypass Jailbreak defenses. As 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 I've seen in Roblox groups that have like the current and the biggest the Jedi Order group as of right now. Now, meaning that essentially a jailbreak that there's going to be exploiters. I've seen people exploit through the map to get inside a bank without even having a key card, much less going through the defenses. And I have seen in Roblox players use a magnet exploit in order to attract criminals to them. Um, of course, there are players out there who strive to who reveal these exploiters and cheaters by recording them and exposing them on the internet. But it doesn't excuse the fact that it's there. Now, of course, this isn't only Jailbreak's fault, but there, but Jailbreak could have a better exploit defense or an updated one, and 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 I've seen a lot of problems with Jailbreak, and it's in my opinion that at the Jailbreak it should have a better defense and so, and the final problem I have is vehicle locations. On top of having to pay for your vehicles, well, you have to actually get to them. Rather than being in a vehicle spawn of some sort, or, or now I wouldn't have a problem with this if the vehicles were easy to get to, but they're not. Many of the vehicles are in locations that are notorious camping spots and nearby bases. Some vehicles are in pretty okay locations, but still though. For example, the Tesla I'm driving right now, and yes, this is supposed to be a Tesla, uh, uh, is designed like, well, I mean, located near the bank, which is a good camping spot for cops because a lot of people go to the bank. And even though it's the single hardest location to rob, uh, the the now some vehicle locations like the truck are in good spots, but they could be in better spots. But in defense of Badimo, he did make a pretty good game and worked hard, and I'm pretty sure that if he were to watch this video, he would either give me an explanation and improve, or hopefully do both. Because I have a question about all these things I see problem with it, and that's why I think this game is overrated. And really, it's more like a farm, farm, farm than anything that would be fun. Oh, and a mini farm. This is Wolf.